Hey, we got a governor race coming up. You know that's coming up this year. And we've been running some candidates through here. And tonight, I've got Lauren Pinkston. She is an independent candidate. Tennessee ready for a woman to be our governor? Hey, what's wrong with that? Hey, we're going to have her live in the studio talking to her, finding out who Lauren Pinkston is. Get ready. We'll be right back.
The Mike Weatherford Show is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Recorded live in the studios of Brewery Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back. I'm your host, Mike Weatherford. Hey, did y'all hear about what happened last weekend? Your humble host went up to Golden Pond Distillery and had a town hall meeting about Bigfoot. Yeah, everybody was saying, Mike, do you believe in the Bigfoot? I said, I don't know. I mean, I have never seen one. So I put on a town hall meeting up there in Cadiz, Kentucky, and it was it was crazy how many people showed up. There was not even standing room. There's people having to get out, couldn't even get in. We had a great turnout. My friend Ricky Price was with me. What do you think, Rick?
Mike, it was unbelievable. If you were late, you couldn't get in.
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely. Ricky, we had stories told by people that seen it, the average people, what they seen.
That's right.
And then we had the experts telling their stories.
And if you had to believe it, you had to see it.
And they asked it when it was over. I was walking around. People was looking at me and they're saying, do you believe it now? I said, does what I believe matter?
Right.
I don't.
As long as you believe what you believe.
I believe what I believe. They believe it.
They believe it.
They believe it.
I believe we got a candidate tonight.
We do. Let's get on to that.
We got a candidate tonight.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, folks. Tonight we're going to be talking with a governor candidate, Lauren Pinkston. She is here live in the studio. We're going to be talking, finding out what her vision for Tennessee is. So I want to introduce to you independent candidate for governor of Tennessee, Miss Lauren Pinkston. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel right at home.
That's great. That's what you're supposed to feel at home.
Well, thanks for the hospitality, and I love being back in West Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's God's country, ain't it? Yeah.
Most overlooked part of Tennessee, but we're still here. And
we are. Where are you from originally?
Yeah, McNairy County. So
right Buford-Pusser country.
Yes. Now I know he's famous, but listen, we got to side with his wife a little bit. So
can
I just tell you, we believe that he killed his wife.
Okay.
So the women of McNairy County we're on her side.
I'm not saying either way. I just said, how about walking taller?
Well, I've got the microphone. I got to
just
put it out there.
I don't want to piss off the governor.
She done took off the show, Mike. It's her show already, okay?
I'm not going to make the governor,
We're already
man.
starting with hot takes.
That's right.
Already.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Who exactly is Lauren Pinkston? Tell me who you are.
Well, I go 7 generations back in Tennessee. So we've actually traced our genealogy all the way back to Mary Chilton, who was the first female who ever stepped foot on Plymouth Rock. So we've got that genealogy in our history, but, grew up in small town, Tennessee, West Tennessee, went to Freed-Hardeman University, moved to Memphis, moved to South Carolina, Laos, and Southeast Asia, we spent a little time in East Africa before moving back. And now we're in Middle Tennessee in Murray County, where my husband is from, and raising our 4 kids there. And it's been great to be back and fall back in love with the state that raised me.
Wow. That's a lot of moving around there. So you've been all over the world. So you know the world, not only Tennessee and the country, you know the world.
I was excited to move around and see as much as I could of the world, and had, we've got 4 kids. They were born on 3 continents. We have had a lot of wonderful experiences, but at the end of the day, I came back, and I'm a person of faith, so was not sure how I would actually land back here in Tennessee. And the Lord was really clear to me and said, Lauren, if you haven't learned to love the place that you came from, you haven't learned to love. And the last 6-7 years for me have been just really submitting back to my home culture and the people here, and learning the most from the people in Tennessee.
You're kind of living proof of what they say sometimes. There's nothing better than your hometown in the rearview mirror, but then it turns around, nothing better than your hometown in the windshield.
Well, there are some incredible people who have just had amazing impacts on me. They've never left me behind. They've been so supportive of all the adventures that we've been on. Right. But now that I'm back, I see a state that I don't recognize anymore. It's a state so different than the state that I left all those years ago, and I want to see it return to the state that we know it to be.
So, what made you put your name in the hat to run to be governor? Hey, that's a big step. You know, we've never had a woman governor in Tennessee. So what made you decide, hey, it's time for me, Lauren Pinkston, to run for governor?
Well, I'll say that I plan to run for a local office like a normal person. I think it's important that people know that. I'm not always that advantageous, but our county mayor decided to run again. I have a lot of respect for her. Didn't need to split our county over that. I do think that local politics is the most powerful politics in the state, so I do really appreciate all of our local governors and local governing boards. Started looking at the state legislature, but I'm an independent. I've never registered with any party formally, so I'm a true independent, and this is a year where we have more independents voting than ever before in history, and this is what people are looking for. And I just thought there's no one else who's going to love people, love the state, be more curious, read more research, and be more committed to making sure that the state is listening to the citizens. So I've got more stories to tell you about that, but that's the overall view, is that, man, I had the time, I had the energy, I have the love for the people, and I want to see the voters in Tennessee actually represented.
Wow. You know, there's probably more independents than they are Republicans or Democrats, but Tennessee tends to be a Republican state. What do you think, Lauren? What ideas do you have that can take the let's use the word unsatisfied Republicans and the Democrats just looking and the independents? What have you got to combine them all together?
Well, let me say first that our data isn't great. So it does look like Tennessee is a safely red state, but we have the lowest voter turnout in the entire country.
Yeah,
we're 51st in the last governor's race. We were dead last. And so to me, that says people are not getting out because they don't like their options. How many people have you talked to recently that said, just, like, there's nothing we can do, or I don't like my options, what is the lesser of two evils? People are feeling unengaged and unenthused. And so the voter data that we have is just not great. And we have a long history of being a moderate state. And so when I talk to people, they're looking, first of all, they're looking for something different.
I think you're correct, Ricky. I think she's right on that. I think, I think for so many years we've had a choice, this or that, and nobody really liked this or that. I think you might be on to something. Are you feeling it, Ricky? Or you?
Well, if you don't have any choices, well, why go vote?
Yeah.
And then if you have the choice of somebody you think's going to turn the tap, now you get out and go vote.
I hear this said a lot, Lauren. I voted for the less of evils.
Yeah.
You've heard that too, haven't you?
Yeah.
Maybe you're on to something there. Maybe you can get that independent, which and Republicans and the Democrats, they're all searching.
Well, of course, we looked at the data, right? I'm not going to run a race just because I want a vanity run or I want a vanity office. This is not something that I'm doing for myself or my career. I put my entire career on hold to be able to do this, to serve. But when we looked at the numbers, we've got a little over 800,000 registered Democrats in Tennessee. We've got about 1.5 million registered Republicans in Tennessee. We have over 2 million non-affiliated voters in Tennessee. So just that alone tells us that the numbers are there.
When every election, the independents is what the swing voters is what really sets it. We just spoke about this. So you think that Tennessee is ready for a nonpartisan governor?
So I have been working with independent campaigns for a long time. I voted third party in 2016, and I have been working with the national independent movement since 2020. And I have been telling people, if there's a place that you want to be as an independent, it's Tennessee. I am telling you right now. We have the most incredible opportunity here because we have people who are values-oriented. We have people who are willing to vote with their brain. And people across the state are looking to connect their mind and their heart in this moment. And I will say that point, I was raised in a conservative home. If you are someone who has voted, Republican for the last your entire life, you can still have an option this year that allows you to connect what you're seeing with your eyes, what you're hearing with your ears, and what feels good in your spirit, and vote for someone who isn't going to make you have to, make excuses for the vote that you've had. I heard when I started this race, somebody said the Democrats are good at getting out and the Republicans know how to get in line. And the Republicans in my life, I want to say, man, I don't want you to be treated as just a get in line vote. Like, you can vote for actually what you want. You don't have to get in line with a certain party anymore, because I'm not going to talk down to you, and I'm going to appeal to your intellect.
Really? Wow. You're hitting on some stuff there that I've heard a lot of people say. Tennessee is a red state. We tend to go red in our governor, which we have had a Democrat not that long ago.
That's right.
But nationally, as far as the president election, we always go red, have been for years.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time, and I can remember, when Tennessee was a Democrat when it come to your national election.
That's right.
What happened? What changed Tennessee from a predominantly Southern Democrat to now we're a Republican state? What do you think caused that?
There's a lot of layers to this. So every 10 years we have a census, and that census impacts our gerrymandering of our districts. And so when you redraw the district lines in the state, the Democrats did this tragically when they were in power, and the Republicans have redrawn it in their favor. Yeah. And so
it's always in the favor of the political power.
That's right. And so I'm very much pro independently drawn citizens maps first of all. But there's this perception that you can't win as a Republican or as a Democrat, and I'll appeal to my Democratic voters, because I feel heavy for those individuals too, because out of the 11 men and women we have serving us in Congress in Washington, D.C., only one of those from Tennessee is a Democrat, and that doesn't line up with our political makeup in the state either.
It's the numbers are off.
Mm-hmm.
What in your history of Lauren Pinkston, your strong points that makes you a good candidate for governor?
Well, I have been working at the grassroots level for the majority of my career. So I started out as an elementary school teacher. So I taught public school and private school as a fourth grade teacher. And then I started working on my graduate studies. So I got a PhD in international family, international family and community studies, which basically means just community development. So I spent 15 years in the counter-trafficking field and researching economic pathways for survivors of human trafficking back to the workforce. And this is what kind of leans me on the more conservative side, but I really believe that people want dignified jobs. They want a pathway back to the middle class. They're not always looking for a handout, but the way our welfare system is designed right now does not allow for anyone to make it back to the middle class.
No, it's a rut.
Yeah, and you get punished if you get a good job, or if you get a promotion at your job. It's something that you immediately lose your that cushion, and then you have a $600 healthcare bill that you can't afford. So we're actually incentivizing people to stay on disability or to stay on welfare systems.
Yeah, I've always said that, Lord. You hit on something. I think our safety nets in this country have become a rut, like driving down the road. You get in that rut, you can't steer out of it.
That's right.
And we shouldn't even have to have social nets like this, safety nets. This country and this state should be everybody got a good living.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what's happened. It used to be that way. The cost of living is astronomically high. It's nationwide, statewide, countywide, citywide, townwide. It's the cost of living, rent, all of that is astronomical, and it's leaving a group of people behind. And an average worker and myself and my viewer, we're one paycheck away from being in the food stamp line.
That's right.
And it's sad we're living in a country that's as big as we are that it has that issue. What do we do about it?
Well, the economy has got to be one of the biggest things we talk about this year, because if you can't afford to live in Tennessee, it's not your state anymore, and people will leave, or they'll be dependent on the government. And honestly, I mean, we will always have people who are dependent on the. I've worked with a lot of exploited populations, a lot of people with generational trauma. There will always be people that we should take care of.
Yeah.
But if we aren't making things, if we're not making it livable, which is number one bucket of my policy positions, Tennessee has to be livable, and so we've got got to create some protections for counties to be able to manage the growth that they're seeing. We've got to stand up to large corporations that are not actually working in the best interest of the people here. And we've got to make sure that people who are coming here and benefiting off of our lack of an income tax, Silicon Valley has moved from California to Texas, and now it's here in Tennessee.
In Florida, yeah.
And so,
yeah.
And so there's great tax incentives to be here, but if you're going to be here and benefit from that, we also need to hold you to investing in the water systems and the roads and in the schools that are also touched by the jobs that you're bringing in.
But we got to be careful. We don't want to do what they left.
Right.
I tell people move here from California, I say, hey, you're welcome to Paris. Whatever you're running from, leave it. Don't bring it with you. We have to be careful. That is a touchy situation, but you're right. We do need to. They're moving them corporations to Tennessee for a reason.
That's right.
And and it's causing housing to go up. It's causing traffic. Look around Nashville. It's growing leaps and bounds. The outer banks of Nashville is just growing leaps and bounds, and the roads are a damn mess, but it's growing up there.
I can't wait to inherit that backlog of billions of dollars of road construction that hasn't been touched.
Oh, that's crazy out of hand. You're. So what do you think the most important issue in Tennessee right now? Lauren Pinkston, what do you think most important thing on day one is really you're going to bullseye with your elected governor?
This is going to be, there's plenty of policy positions, and I've got 91 on my website. So if you're wondering where I stand on things, there's a big difference between a moderate and an independent. And I want to be clear that I'm not moderate. I want to be explicitly clear in where I stand. Right. But I really think that it's going to take getting people back to the table to solve problems, because I believe that we do need people who are on the right and on the left to solve problems. There's an important balance in that. And so I was getting ready this morning to go out, Mike. I was putting my mascara on and getting ready to go. And I'm like, what, on day one or first week that I'm in the governor's mansion, if my kids want to move there, I'd probably like to stay at my house, but my kids they've already picked out their bedrooms there. It wasn't even on my radar. Yeah. But I was like, we need to have a huge picnic where every legislator comes, they bring their spouses, they bring their kids, and we're not allowed to talk about policy at all, but we do start humanizing one another. Because Nashville is not a fun place right now, and the Capitol is not a fun place right now. And until we start humanizing one another, we're not going to solve problems for the people of this state.
I think you're right. It's a shouting match up here now. We're not. And I asked this question, Ricky, and I get politicians in here all the time. And when was the last law or legislation they passed that helped you and I, or you? Mm-hmm. When?
Got one, Ricky?
No. Not that I can think of.
I don't know what they're doing. I try to stay in touch and know what's going on, but very few things
reflect to the small person.
Helps us, it does. Now, if I was a multi-million-dollar corporation, sure, there's a tax break, or if I was on the very low end of the income, there was something to help me. But when it comes down to what Mike and Lauren and Ricky
right down the middle,
in Main Street America, they're not there.
Yeah,
and this ice storm, if it did one thing, it proved that it takes family, friends, and neighbors quit depending on the government.
Well, that's why I believe in Tennessee. That's why I believe that we can win this race, is because people are genuinely kind and wonderful people in this state. Right. People don't ever ask me, well, who'd you vote for in this election if I need something, right? They're at my house and they're there with a casserole, and it tastes good too. It's not. It's people are just genuinely kind and good, and we want to be that. We want to be proud of ourselves.
So your upbringing, I think you spoke. You're a Christian, and you want to apply that to your governor too, don't you?
Well, that's
Christian value ways.
That's right. And that's why I haven't been able to register with either party, because there are some things in my faith that align with one side and some that align with the other. And as I go around this state and I am in rooms full of people and I ask the question, how many of you identify as a person of faith? I get a lot, almost exclusively hands are raised. And I say, how many of you believe that all of your values align with one party? No hands go up. And if we're going to be true to who we are, then we have to vote in a way that is true to us. But unless somebody steps out and actually offers that choice, then we can't vote for the things that we really do care about.
Yeah, I said this all along, and it makes some people uncomfortable. But every idea that a Democrat has is not bad, and every idea that a Republican has is not good. And I say it that way because we're in a predominantly Republican
That's right.
state. There's good ideas on both sides, and there's bad ideas on both sides. And I think we need someone to get there and go right down the middle, get the good ideas, and get them together and fix the problems. Tennessee, we got highways.
Yeah.
We've got an education system that's broken. I got a little some statistics here. You probably already know this. Let me find my notes. They wrote it out. We are ranked among the lowest in the nation for public education. Tennessee is. Nearly 20% of teaching positions in some districts remain unfilled. Is it a money issue or is it a teaching issue? Because we spend a lot of money on education in this state. You're an educator.
Yep.
Where do you think the issue lies?
Can you name a teacher that you know that is not fantastic at what they do, that doesn't love children? We are going to see the outputs of we're going to see the fruit, of the things that we invest in, right? So our outputs are directly related to our inputs. And when we spend our time passing legislation on fringe issues that people don't care about, then we lose focus of what is right in front of us. And if we're not putting teachers at the center of that conversation, classroom teachers that are on the front lines, then we miss opportunities. No Child Left Behind was a great idea, but it has had really devastating impacts on the classroom because what has happened is we have these cookie cutter classrooms across the state, and children are not cookie cutter beings, right? Wow. We have 7 different learning styles, and teachers are expected to teach all 7 classes a day in 7 different learning styles to meet all the needs of a student. That's not true. Now, I hear the argument for school choice, and I'm someone who's I've had kids in Montessori school, international school, public school, private school, therapeutic school, online school. I mean, I look like the poster child for school choice.
For education, right?
But that doesn't mean that we'd have that conversation isolated to school vouchers that the majority of the state does not want.
Yeah, school voucher, where do you stand on that?
Well, I stand with the people, and the people tell me every single city that I go to is that they don't like it. They see it as funding wealthy individuals in urban centers. And if you are if you're in a rural county and you don't have private schools, why do you want your tax dollars going to a wealthy family that already have their kids?
Is it lottery money or is it tax dollars?
It's tax dollars, okay. and there's it all ends up in the same thing, But regardless,
but it dummies down our children, and I hate to say it in words, but our children are not as smart. In my opinion, education for whatever reason is not. The children are leaving there because I see them. I have a private job. I have a business. They can't read tape measures. They can't balance a checkbook, and it's insanity. And it's not the teachers. I don't believe that. I think it's what they're having the teachers teach. I think they've left reading and writing and adding. What the hell? And history. Where are we at? What are we doing?
Well, the standards have all moved down, and so developmentally, what we're asking kindergartners to do is not appropriate developmentally. So let me start there. You have to be able to write a 3 sentences connected by the time you leave kindergarten.
Right.
And so developmentally, that's not appropriate. The things that we are focused on, we're putting kids in front of flat screens, and we are putting kids on computer programs that are just completely, two-dimensional, and they need to be having a full-bodied experience when it comes to education.
Yeah.
So I would love to see more nature schools in the public school system. I would love to see more STEM schools in the public school system. I would love to see more rigorous academic, more technical path opportunities. We've got to meet kids where they are learning and where they are going to be able to contribute back to society, and then raise the bar on what we expect of them, because they want that. Kids don't want to be the rulers of their little kingdoms. They act like they do, but at the end of the day, they want adults.
Want discipline, and
they
want discipline, and they want education.
And they want high standards.
Yeah, but I think that we're right now. I've got 3 children and 10 grandchildren, and 1 on the way, and I don't think that they got the same education. And I'm not blaming teachers. Y'all teachers, I'm not blaming y'all. Y'all know there's a problem. Don't act like you don't know it.
Teachers are going to be the first ones to tell you there's a problem.
That's right. And my niece, she's in some kind of she's a head of schools in your area. You'll probably know her. I'm not going to say her name, but she's up there in your area. And I don't think that they got the education I got, because my children, I've got a grandson that's a Marine. 21-year-old. I had to teach him how to write in cursive.
Well, that's not a part of the curriculum anymore.
Well, I think it's come back. They say And I said, how can you sign your name? How can you get a loan? How can you sign and join the Marine Corps if you can't sign your damn name?
Well, and that's a gut valid point. You know, I just got done with the petition. You got to print and sign your name. Yeah. So what are we going to do in 5 years when you want a voter child?
I lost my mind when he couldn't, and I said, well, I'm going to teach you, because our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence is wrote in cursive. And I think some of them now, I think they went back the other way, Lauren, but if you give them a straight shift automobile with the directions wrote in cursive, that's the best anti-theft device there is in a car.
I'm writing that into my policy positions.
Well,
I mean, they could, you know,
that boy Carter at one in Memphis in the straight shift, and he had to jump out and start running because he couldn't drive it.
I seen that.
Yeah.
But what are we doing? And I asked, and the judge was sitting there while I was having this conversation, and she said, you need to listen to your grandson, your granddaddy. He's telling you, right? Mm-hmm. How do you sign anything if you can't write in cursive?
Oh, I taught at the college level. I taught for 4 years as a professor, and when I would write on the board in cursive, it didn't compute.
It was
right?
Chinese, wasn't it?
And we have brought some of those things back, and some school districts have decided, this is important, and we're bringing it back.
Why did they ever quit?
There was such a pressure to be focused on these curriculum standards that we're all moving to a test. Yeah.
Go back, reading, writing, arithmetic,
and advertising. It sounds like you need to make sure you got your
That's all I do. Yeah, and history.
Yeah.
If you don't know your history, the true history, you're bound to repeat it. And I see things right now, they're trying to rewrite history, not in one area, but all across our country. They're rewriting some history in our country, and that's going to be a mistake, because it is what it is. Like it or not like it, that's our history. Tell it like it is, and don't go back and repeat it. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But education is a big deal in this state, because we spend a lot of money.
Yep.
And I think that our children are getting ripped off. I think they're not getting the education they deserve.
I think so too, and we're watching this exodus from public education. We've got more kids enrolled in private schools, and we've got more homeschooling families across the state. Which more and more, and
that is scary.
Well, they're not happy with their options in public schools, so I don't.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for making
scary.
those choices. But if we've got this mass exodus from public education, we should have even more money be dumping into the public school system.
There's something going on when you have more and more and more and more children being taught at home. And I did shows on Mennonites and Amish. I've had them in here. Yeah. They only go to the 8th grade, but they leave there with a whole lot better education than our 12-years give us. Mm-hmm. And these children are teaching at home, and they're coming out. The only thing I don't think that they're getting is the mixing up, learning the people.
Culture,
and all that
experience.
But their education, they're leaving them private schools and homeschooling, I think, a little better off.
I have a really close friend that grew up in the Amish community, and she ended up moving into my home after, kind of getting out on her own, and she was just really, really remarkable. It
amazes you, and they did it in 8 years. Mm-hmm. And they don't hammer on some of the stuff that we do in our school system, but we need to work on it, because the old guys like me and Ricky, we can't lead forever.
Well, why not? Why can't we just sit around and not have to work? We just get to.
That's what everybody's doing. But I'm going to switch gears here.
Yeah.
What about legalizing marijuana? Where are you at on that?
Well, since you led with it, I think that there's a lot of money there that we could dump into our education system.
There you go.
Listen, when I talk to local law enforcement officers, they've already retired their police dogs because they say it's not worth our time to arrest people off of marijuana. So they have already invested $10,000 more and to retrain a police dog to not sniff out marijuana. They say the greatest threat, and driver is alcohol on the road, and then we've got much more serious drugs. And so we're dumping so much money into our prison system in Tennessee. If we legalize marijuana, then we can make it safer. So you're not, you are not at risk of purchasing something that is a safe substance that could then be laced with something else. So we can regulate it and make it safer. We can tax it and get all the money from it, and it makes the whole society safer. I think I can say this.
So what you want to say? That's what where else can you do this?
Well, what I love as a white woman is that we have a lot of power in society. And when the suburban white women started really loving their gummies, that's when we started talking about legalizing marijuana.
You're right. You brung it up. Let me tell you, they say that about 96% of all women are on some kind of doctor-prescribed medication.
Well, listen, women's health is serious.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. It's the 4% is unmedicated I worry about.
Only you can say that.
Don't put that in your Don't put that in your campaign.
Zero comment on that.
But you said something that everybody hits on when they start talking about marijuana. Tax. Is everything got to be about tax, Lauren? I'm going to push back a little bit on that. You said tax. Why not just let people sell it and get your sales tax?
Well, I'm saying if it's one of
I got you.
the most incredible things that the thing that people are selling a lot on the street, and we're not benefiting from it in the state, then why not benefit from it?
You got a point. But it's and I know you're not probably like this, but it's a question to ask. I think it's a fair question. Everybody's looking at even local politics here. Every time the state says, y'all can tax on this, they jump on it. Yeah, we can tax you on that. They had a gravel tax here locally. They just started taxing. I thought it was unfair. Why not logs and all this other stuff? But it seems like everything that the politicians look at, they see it as a tax revenue instead of something good for the people. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. And I think we need to be careful about what we're taxing. I think there are some things that we need to pull the tax back on. So like groceries is one that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
I'm looking at agricultural products for farmers.
That's right.
Farmers are working so hard and they're
struggling right now.
And they are struggling. So if we can repeal some of the taxes on their agricultural products and help them with that bottom line, I'm very much in support of that. If we are going to, I'm also open to tapering down a property tax. So if you have, if you own your home, if you own your land, or if you're on Social Security, if you don't pay your property taxes for 1, 2, 3 years, then you lose your land and you've already paid that house off. To me, that doesn't seem fair.
It ain't.
So, but if we get rid of all property taxes like we're talking about right now,
we won't be able to fund that.
We can't. No, it'll be devastating for local governments. And then we've got 42 states that border another state in Tennessee. Everybody's just going to go across the border to buy their groceries and everything else.
That's right. What do you think about the death penalty? That's a trick question. It is. I'll tell you why. Go ahead.
Well, you want to go and tell me that before I get...
I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, you're not.
I believe in the death penalty. I did a show with a guy that we've been trying to get the governor to look at this show. His name is Gary Wayne Sutton.
I watched your show. I've been reading up on it.
That needs to be looked at. See this thing sitting right over here? He made me that on death row. I was the first one to talk to him in 35 years on death row. I got him live on my thing and talked to him. So many people reached out to me and said, "Mike, you got a microphone." Yeah, but I can't make it rain or I can't make it snow.
Sure.
As a governor of Tennessee, would you look at all of these execution dates and make sure that I believe in it, but let's make sure we're executing the right people? Is that a fair question?
Yeah.
That's why I said it was a setup question.
The reason that I pause is because anytime that you're given the authority to take someone else's life, that is so serious.
You're being God. Yeah. You're trying to play God. I understand we've got to have deterrence. Please let me make that perfectly clear. I believe in law and order.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure if it was my daughter or my grandchildren or my wife or someone, yes. And so I'm all for that, I think.
Right.
But let's make sure. Quit letting them stay on there for 35 years. That's a long time for this man to be sitting on there. 35 years. So let's go back and review his case and say, well, we're gonna he's got a date coming up in December. They give him an execution date. Can you imagine? The man says he's not guilty, his family says not, and even people's call me says he's not guilty. Would you look at it as a governor and every one of them step by step and make sure we are executing the right people?
100%. We have, I think, 42 people that are on death row for 25, 26. I could be wrong about that, so you can check me on it. But that is something that we've talked a lot about with my campaign. How are we incredibly careful with the way that we are making these decisions? And I am someone who has spent a lot of time researching in mental health and in generational trauma, and I am very concerned with the way that our prison system is running in Tennessee right now. I'd like to see a 15% decrease in the number of incarcerated individuals in the first term as governor, because we are spending, if there's a place that we're spending an insane amount of tax dollars, it is in keeping people locked up instead of helping them get back to work.
Right. I agree with you. But, I'm going to hammer on this just a minute and move on, because I'm kind of a rough, tough guy. And I figured you'd be the John Wayne type, wants everybody that's on death row. Yeah, I think there's certain crimes that, but I think we're walking on a knife edge when it comes to execution. If I was the governor, I don't know if I wouldn't just say, I'm going to stay all of them. No big on execution laws, I'm governor, because I wouldn't want that on my conscience, because you're going to be hit with all these stuff. But if it's evidence is there, yes, do it. But this man right here, the governor will not even listen or talk about this guy. He's supposed to be a real religious guy, Bill Lee, which is, I'm sure he's bombarded with all that. I know he's got a lot going on in Tennessee, and let's don't forget that. But he won't even listen to this case. But I thought you'd be the kind of person.
Can I say one more thing
about that? You sure say what you want to say.
I have never met someone who has committed a heinous crime that was not tragically abused as a child. And the way that our brains are impacted by trauma is so real. And the growth out of that experience is something that takes incredible care. It takes incredible therapy. It takes a lot of money. And if we're not investing in our prison systems with GED programs, with incredible new technologies like neurofeedback and brain spotting, some of the really low-cost things that we can do to help people connect their neuro pathways in a healthy way, then I don't see what right I have to take someone's life when they were never really given a chance at life to begin with.
You got a point. I think that sometimes our let's say prison system, judicial system is like doctoring. They don't treat the ailment, they treat the symptoms.
Well, and this goes back to the economy. For some reason, we think that if we just keep pulling things away from communities, then we're suddenly going to fix it. No, I don't think. Have you ever been in a situation where you were tight on cash?
Well, sure, every day.
Every day. You wake up.
Yeah. And how do you sleep at night? Like, you don't sleep great. I sleep a lot better in a real nice hotel room than I do in a,
I understand. Yeah, I wake up every night. I go to bed every night praying and thanking the Lord for what I've got and ask Him to help me for what I don't have. I run a small business, and I go to work every Monday morning needing a bunch of money by Friday or Thursday night, because I got a payroll on Friday. I got to have a bunch of money on Thursday night. For 40 years, I've had to do that. It's horrible.
Yeah. I got to do that too with this campaign. But
terrible.
Speaking of, I'm just kidding. That to me is so important, that we're talking about what actually makes communities better. And it's injecting economic opportunity into those communities. Otherwise, we're just going to start policing the mess out of poor communities. And then that's going to cost the state more money.
We got to take a commercial break. Speaking of money, I got to pay the bills. Will you hang around? Let's go back to the second half and finish it. All right, folks. There you go. We've been talking with Lauren Pinkston. She is a candidate for governor of Tennessee, and we're having a great conversation. Hey, you got a question for her? I might even put the phone number up if Lauren said she was okay with that. Outside the break, we're going to put it up and let you call and ask her a question. And keep reading your comments. Dana's finding some good questions here. She's sending some of them to me, and I'm asking as we go along. So we're going to take a commercial break, and I got to pay the bills, and I'll be right back. Hey, have you ever woke up in the middle of the night and your house just feels kind of cool? Or come home from work and saying, something just don't feel right? Yeah, that's happened to all of us. Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Weatherford Show. Yeah, I've been through that problem. I've got the answer to your problem. A+ Heating and Cooling. They're the official heating and cooling company of the Mike Weatherford Show. They're your go-to place. Hey, when's the last time you had your heat pump just checked out? I mean, just had it serviced. If it's been a while, call Jody at A+ Heating and Cooling. Let him be the one to take care of all them heating and cooling problems. How about your ductwork? You ever had it cleaned? How about sneezing, dust all in your house? When's the last time you had your ductwork cleaned? Hey, A+ Heating and Cooling, the official heating and cooling for the Mike Weatherford Show, has got you covered. When it comes to your heat pumps, when it comes to your duct cleaning, give them a call and do this. Tell them Mike sent you. Don't turn that down. It's cold in here. What do? Live in an igloo? You need to quit. You need to start wearing T-shirts over here.
There's something special about jewelry that's been cared for properly. When a ring needs resizing, a stone needs to be reset, or a favorite piece simply needs to shine again, it helps to have a trusted professional close to home. Potto Gold Jewelry Repair offers professional full-service jewelry repair right here in Paris. Ring resizing in both gold and silver, prong retipping, stone resetting, soldering, professional cleaning, and even watch battery replacement. Careful craftsmanship, excellent work, high satisfaction. Also buying and selling new and heirloom pieces. Visit Potto Gold Jewelry Repair at 415 North Market Street in Paris, or call 7316-449113. Potto Gold Jewelry Repair, where fine details still matter.
Is your tank on empty? For best gas prices in town, fill up at 54 Fuel Mart, 1213A Westwood Street. And don't forget your other tank. Grab hot fried chicken, wings, pizza, and on Tuesdays and Fridays, the best fried fish around. Got a sweet tooth? We've got freeze-dried candies, candy bars, and more. Rainy day? Stay dry and use our drive-up window. Farmers, we've got your dyed diesel plus parking for big rigs. Open 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. If you're feeling lucky, play the lottery or grab a scratch-off while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart at the Westwood Y. More than just fuel.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Are you still undecided about your high-speed internet provider? Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Weatherford Show. Let me help you off the fence. TEC high-speed internet is what we use here at the studio, and let me tell you, it's flawless. From home to business, TEC got you covered. With upload speeds that match download speed, TEC leads the pack. Does your family play online games? How about security cameras and live streamers in your home? TEC, with their upload speed matching their download speed, it's as fast as clicking a button. When it comes to high-speed fiber optic internet, TEC is unmatched with quality and service all across the Mid-South. So do like I did. Go get you some.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Buckaloo reminding you to tune in to Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo live every Sunday night at 7:30 here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios.
Hey, don't forget, coming up next week right here on the Mike Weatherford Show, we got the world premiere. Hadji, Vince Dodd, that's right, he has got a new video, new song he's releasing. He's going to do it right here live on the Mike Weatherford Show coming up next Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be great. He's going to release it. Behind-the-scene footage. I mean, Vince is a great guy. You don't want to miss this. He's going that new video he just released. He's not released it yet. He's fixing to release it right here live on the Mike Weatherford Show coming up next week, right here live on the Mike Weatherford Show. Yeah, last week we had Rick Revel. This week we got Vince Dodd. Hey, you don't want to miss it. Hey, don't forget, coming up on Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckley, Curtis Copeland, Renee Laster, Patriot softball and baseball, ready for the big 2026. That's coming up right there live on Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckley. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, reach over, find him, follow him, subscribe to him, ring his bell, do it all. Help him go to the top. He's got a great show. He's had NASCAR drivers, IHRA drivers. He's had it all over on the Sportscast. Hey, go over and give him some love. Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckley every Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Hey, I got an idea. If you've not got your TEC internet yet, you need to be getting it. Look, everybody had all these connectivity issues during the big ice storm. Nobody ever, internet was down. They was having trouble. Hey, when you had TEC, the fastest fiber optic internet in the South, it went perfectly. What you do, get signed up, get your neighbor to sign up, or get your friend or family member, just anybody, and every person you sign up, you get a month free. And there's no limit. Tell them Mike sent you. When you get over there and you decide, I want to go like Mike does and have TEC, fiber optic, high-speed internet, and then get your neighbors and your friends and your family. Say, Mike told me I can get a month free, and you'll get a month free, no limit. You could get, if you got a big family like some people, you might get the next 2 or 3 years free. All you got to do, join a TEC family. Tell them Mike sent you. Hey, don't forget the Peddler Advantage. It's serving 9 counties for over 40 years. Place your 20-word classified to run for 4 weeks for only $10. And guess what else? When you pick up your free copy, you can find out what's coming on the Mike Weatherford Show, the Tennessee Informer, and Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckley. We're right there in the middle of the paper. We'll let you know what you can find on all your 3 favorite shows. Right here, Kill Media in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios. Hey, don't forget, we're simulcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, all the major platforms. If you want to find out more about us, go over to myparistv.com, and you'll find all the great shows. Everything's going on is right there in one place. Just get that TEC internet and click that button. There you are. We're sitting there, been talking with Lauren Pinkston. She is a candidate wanting to be the first woman governor of the great state of Tennessee. We've been having a great conversation with her and finding out who she is, because let me tell you, elections have consequences. There's no reason in this world that we don't know all about the candidates that we're voting for. You've got social media, you've got me, you've got everywhere else, and you can find out about these candidates. You might be surprised. They might believe more like you do. Think you do. Hey, we're going to put the phone number up here if you want to call in and ask Lauren a question. She'll be glad to talk to you, because she's a very down-to-earth, very smart. I mean, you know, it don't take a lot to be smarter than me, but she's even smarter than Ricky.
She's out-talked both of us together.
Oh, man.
We cannot keep up with her tonight.
No, I'm not nowhere near smart enough. This is way out of my league. And she's pretty. A lot prettier than Ricky, too. So, you know, we're doing
good.
I'm
prettier than you, I'll tell you that.
I'm going to take Ricky's jacket home with me. That's what I want. That's nice.
That is a great jacket. Well, welcome back, Lauren. You didn't run off.
No, I'm still here. I mean, we're going to be here as long as you want me to be
That's
here.
Right. It's been a great conversation.
Hey, can I ask y'all a question?
You sure asked me.
What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten? We're country folk. What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten?
Crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten it all.
I have too. I grew up in the country.
Yeah, I grew up in the country. Chitlins,
possum,
coon.
All right, I haven't made it to the possums yet.
What have you eaten?
Well, I had a crocodile. I had a gator on
I've eaten that.
Yeah,
it's
good.
I've eaten snake.
Like
I've eaten bear.
Yeah.
Everything they say tastes like chicken. It doesn't to me, but go ahead.
According to how you cook it.
Yeah.
Or you grill it.
That's true.
You can eat your hat, you know, if you put enough sauce on it. Go ahead.
Hungry enough.
Yeah. You ever had scuttlefish?
I didn't know what the heck that is.
Yeah, it looks like a little squid. It's not good. What about cow stomach?
Nah.
Did I beat y'all?
I
ate something you had. Well, you got me too. I've never had possum, but
you've had chitlins.
Yeah.
She's country.
Stump slung a fence broke.
Yeah. You're laughing back. You're laughing
Stump
back.
slung a fence broke. Okay, we're gonna do this tonight. We're gonna get on it then. Stump slung a fence broke.
That's good. That's good.
I got some questions here, people. So somebody asked, how would you deal with a good old boy system that has been in place for decades?
Ooh,
I don't know where we're talking about I don't know what that's a question. I mean, it's a question.
It's not tough. I'm a woman. I've been dealing with this my whole life. I'm a woman in the church. I know exactly what
you know what they're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
There's something that is really important to talk about here, and it is how I would lead as an independent governor in a state with a predominantly Republican legislature.
That's right.
Okay. And I will say that my number one promise that I want to make to voters is that we will have a legislative accountability tool that comes out of the governor's office. I have been calling my representatives, my senators for years, and I either get hung up on or I get an answering machine and nobody calls me back. They don't answer my emails, and that's not representation. Now, if we've already used the Tea Party, branding, so we can't use that. But It really does feel like we're back in a system of no taxation without representation. Yes. And so, if our representatives and our senators are not going to respond to us, then I am making a commitment that I will have a tool on my website. You can call my office, you can get on the website, and we will publish every week public source data on what calls are coming in, what issues people care about, where they land on those issues. And my message to the legislature is if you do not, if you send a bill to my desk, then I am going to make sure that it is backed by the will of the people. Now, this is my campaign website that we're looking at, but definitely would love for y'all to check this out because you can sign up there at the top right for a call from me. And so I'm going to be in D.C. all of next week. So if you click on that, you can actually see my calendar is built in there. I may still have some spots open for Thursday and Friday this week, but you can, just go ahead and there you go. So you've got spots there for the 11th, 12th, and 13th. You can sign up on my calendar, and I will call you at that time.
Wow.
So that's an option for you. It'll sync directly with your calendar. And then make sure there's a policy position page. There's 91 there we've already talked about. So if you click on that top right over there, Mike is already signing up for a call from me. That's great.
I want to know about that cow stomach recipe.
Do not recommend. It still had the bumps on it. It was not fun. So those three little lines right there, you can go down to policy positions. I've got 3 buckets with all kinds of things. So livability, accountability, civility. So that's all there. And then also,
that cursor's following your finger. It's off that camera. Keep going.
Okay, great. So this is your livability section, and you can scroll down, and there's tabs. I've got policies listed under all of these. So the economy, they're all there. Housing, healthcare. You can see exactly where I stand on all of these things after listening to people for the last 3 months. So it's all there.
Told you she's too smart for me and you, Mike.
She is too
stop
smart
this
for me.
right now.
But if you don't want to read all of those, you can just go to the donate page and give me $51 for being the 51st governor of the state.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Or you can get you go up to $5,300.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Actually, that's what I should have said. You can give $5,300.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I would have said. It's expensive running a campaign.
Sure.
It's very expensive. And I'm sure you don't have the Republicans PAC giving you money, Democrat PAC giving you money.
Right.
You kind of fund it yourself.
Well, we're
grassroots.
It's totally grassroots, and it's you can throw millions of dollars at a TV ad, but that doesn't mean that you've earned the trust of the people. We're going to all 95 counties. We're building connections, and starting March 1st, we're going to be launching these democratic dialogue conversations. So asking people to get around a table, get in a room, put your phone to the side for 2 hours, and we'll guide each host through a set of questions that we're going to ask you to just talk about as humans.
Homelessness, that's an issue that's big. It is, and I did a couple of shows on that because it's sad that we've got people. Now, some of it is by choice. Now, you got to understand, out of 100% of the homelessness, probably 15 to 25%, that's the numbers I hear, is economically. They just can't do no better. Some of it is mental health, which is another big issue that Tennessee's facing, and we're not doing anything about it. We're not doing anything about homelessness. What would you think is some of the ideas you have to face homelessness and mental health? Let's put them together because they kind of go together.
Sure. This is a complicated issue, okay? So let me bathe this in a story. Last fall, people know in their own town who is in need of housing. There, you see the same faces over and over again, right? So in where I'm from, there's a couple who had been walking the streets regularly. I said, I interacted with them one day. I said, what do you need? Got their phone number. So we started walking with Melanie and Terry for a couple of months, and I ended up, fundraised, got some money together to keep them in a hotel in a warm. It was right in the dead of winter. Okay, so pulled some blankets together. Terry had a CDL. and he was able to drive. He was an over-the-road driver and had that right in his back pocket. So he was ready to go to work. So I said, do you want to work? Yes. Okay. So we drive Terry around, get him applying for jobs, all the things. I had people from church who gave him a car to drive to interviews. I had people from church who were making sure that they were connected with a friend of theirs who had an over-the-road trucking company. That guy that owned that over-the-road trucking company got his new Social Security card, got him a new birth certificate, and bought him a TV to put in the hotel room. That they were taking such great care of them. This is an incredible man who was taking care of a woman who had been abused since she was young and was so concerned that if he walked away from her, that she would take her own life. And so we started trying to get her connected to social resources. I called everybody that I knew from Murray County all the way up to Davidson County. And at the end of the day, Terry had an amazing job lined up, was going to be making more money than I was as an academic researcher. Right. And I was about to go over the road trucking first of all. But it ended up just falling apart because of just this relationship that we couldn't move past. And I hope that we can all grow a little bit of understanding that there are some situations that I call it palliative housing, but there are some people who are just always going to need housing because they're not going to be able to make it through mental health services. You can introduce them, but they may not be able to walk through the years that it's going to take to undo 55 years of abuse and trauma. Terry had a great opportunity and just couldn't slip through. But there are people in all of our towns that want that. And there's nothing more powerful than a social bridge. So bridging someone from the lower class to the middle class is the best thing that we can do to help them just to be successful for the rest of their lives. And I'm not saying that the government can't do that because it's local people that are going to have that intel. But if we can help facilitate those moments and give support where we can, this is just part of my ideas of totally overhauling our welfare system.
Yeah, it needs a complete jerk. There's people that abuse it. Number one,
sure,
that angers me. And number two, you get people that stuck in that rut, can't get out of it. Mm-hmm. And number three, you got people that needs it and can't get it.
Well, there's enough Christians in this state that we should be able to address this issue. And
it's insanity we don't.
It's going to take all of us being willing to step out and get to know somebody that makes us a little uncomfortable.
It does. Immigration. Are you a supporter of ICE coming to Tennessee and getting illegal immigrants out? Well,
they're already here, and they've already made negotiations with Shelby County. And so this is what I want to say. There are absolutely criminal rings. International crime is real in Tennessee. Human trafficking is real in Tennessee. We've got Venezuelan gangs, we've got Russian gangs, and traditionally, TBI has been able to work really well. This is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has worked really well with the Department of Homeland Security in addressing that. Our local law enforcement officers do not want to be seen as an extension of ICE, and we have legislation coming out this year that is going to force all of them to align and to register as an extension of ICE.
Right.
They don't want that because they want the trust that they have been building for years with their local communities. And they know that if someone if they see law enforcement as a threat rather than as a support, then people don't call when they need help. And this is a direct threat to the livelihoods of society.
But the illegals are adding to our problems. They're adding to our welfare. They're adding to our rent costs.
They're also paying taxes. There are illegal immigrants that are paying taxes.
To an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's not a good investment. Their taxes is not offsetting what they're costing us. I think that we need to have a open policy way to get yourself to be legal.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's got a problem with legal immigration. It's still legal.
Sure.
Me being a business owner, I've got friends of mine that has businesses that pays them under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's not good.
So I don't want to. I'm so glad that you said that, and I don't want to step on any toes here. However, every strong economy in the world has this conversation. Okay, it's not just the United States.
It's not. It's worldwide.
It is worldwide. Europe has way more immigration crises than we have.
It's insanity.
Yes,
they're going to lose Europe.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Well, and they're dealing with so much. Kenya is having this conversation in Africa. Thailand is having this conversation in Asia. This is a worldwide issue. So as long as we remain an economic powerhouse, we're going to have people who are coming through. We don't have an open border. We have a porous border. So I want to make that delineation. We have a border that is porous. It's easy to cross. But
I don't think it is as easy now.
Not as easy, but people are risking their lives to cross. And so if we are handpicking people off of the street, that is a gross use of our resources and our time when we could be going to the businesses that are recruiting these individuals and paying them under the table, because that is illegal as well.
That's very illegal. I don't like that part of the whole deal. But I can see, because we have a problem. We're opening up cans of worm here. I don't want to go down, but I'm going to say this. We've got problems. It's hard to find help. Ricky, he's the vice president of Pepsi. He has issues getting help. I have issues getting help. Everybody has issues getting help. And I don't know where they went. They never come back after COVID. I don't know what happened. COVID was a crazy. We should have. This country, I hope they learn a lesson. We absolutely destroyed so much of America with this COVID shutdown. We run our children education-wise. We run the economy, and it's an excuse people are still using in my industry about the reason why I can't get stuff. Well, Mike, we haven't overcome COVID. And where in the hell do these people go? They never come back to work.
Well, I think the leadership miss during COVID, and my husband's a family practice doctor, so I have to say that the hospitals and the healthcare frontline workers were really it was tragic what they were watching. But
I understand that. I'm talking about how we done it in this country.
Right. And the healthcare miss is that we made blanket statements and we treated every place in Tennessee as if it was experiencing the same thing. Right. And rural areas were not experiencing the same thing that urban centers were experiencing. And that's like, you cannot govern with a broad stroke on every issue because, rural places are just different.
Second Amendment, where you at?
So I lived in a communist country. I got pulled over by a Lao police officer one time, and he said, when you come back, can you bring me some guns?
Wow.
So I think that tells you what our reputation is worldwide.
That's right.
I believe in protecting the Second Amendment, because I've seen what happens when we don't have it. But the Second Amendment and our unwillingness to keep it safe is encroaching on the First Amendment. So we have to be careful. Do you like to hunt?
Yeah.
You like?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. So what is going to threaten your ability to keep your guns in Tennessee? What's going to make
politicians?
Okay.
That's number one thing. Politicians.
Why are politicians not gun? Why are they worried about guns?
There's a number of reasons. It's not fair. I was a chairman NRA.
Oh, you didn't tell me that before we started.
We might ought to get away from that.
Well, can I just say one thing about it?
Yeah, sure.
Because I want to protect the Second Amendment.
I know you do.
But
That's what you said.
if we are not careful, then we're going to lose the favor of the Second Amendment. If it continues to encroach on the rights of the First Amendment. So if people are afraid,
it's the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. They're wrote in order for a reason. We was told by our founding fathers. This is Mike's interpretation. We've got the right to tell our leaders that we don't like what they're doing. We can write it in the paper. We can scream about it. We can do about it. And if you don't listen to us, we go to our Second Amendment and take our guns and stop that tragedy. That's what it's all about.
And what kind of guns were they using when the Second Amendment was written?
Matter.
It was a musket.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't fire a whole lot of rounds into the body of a 7-year-old.
That doesn't matter. Guns are guns. Guns is nothing but a tool, just like a pen, like an automobile. It's the people.
That's right, and that's why, it is, but that's also why we require people to wear seatbelts, right? So I don't want to lose it, but I just think that we can protect. It's the number one killer of children in Tennessee, and so if we just have some laws that force us to keep them safe, keep them locked up. I grew up with a gun leaned up against the wall my whole life, you know. But there are kids who are accidentally shooting their siblings regularly because guns aren't locked up and safe.
That's parenting. That's a lack of parenting issue. And that's a lot of things that lack of parenting can go back to, and we don't allow parents to be parents sometimes, and sometimes parents can't be parents. I've run into that a lot because I help a lot of people too, and I see a lot of people don't know how to be parents.
Sure. Well, here's where it breaks down though for me, Mike. And I don't want to get ugly about it, but if we're going to be pro-life, which I am,
yeah, sure.
Then that.
I want to ask you. That was my next question.
Well, then that our responsibility to children who don't have parents who are keeping those guns locked up is that's a violation of their right to life, and that bothers me.
Yeah. What's a woman?
How many uteruses do you need to be a woman?
That kind of answers my question.
I'm gonna crawl on this table right now.
No, that is a fair question.
If you've ever pumped gas and looked behind your back to see if you're safe, you're a woman.
That's right. But you understand that question.
Sure.
It's a question that's everywhere.
It is. I agree.
And some people won't answer it. And if they can't answer what a woman is, I'm leery. Are you?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm very leery.
We've lost our minds. We've run we've run entire campaigns on fringe issues that are so
that
far.
ain't even an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, but I had to ask that because I had a lot of women ask me, "Are you going to ask her what a woman?" I said, "What a woman." No, I said, "I know where you're going," and I said, "Yeah, I'll slide it in," and I did. It means a lot to people. That
we got to be clear.
Thank you. Why would you not know what a woman is?
My mother was a woman.
Yeah. And your daddy wasn't.
No, I hope not.
But the point I'm getting at, it all boils down to a lot of times when they're got them in Congress and they're drilling them in there, they'll ask them doctors and people on there what a woman is, and they don't want to answer it. I don't know why. Well, I'm not, or they won't be a doctor. Let me rephrase what I said. I misspoke. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical field. But you got sense. What is a woman? Just say it's the female that reproduces is what I would say, and go on. They can't answer that question. That's scary. What else are they not confused about?
Well, when we fail to be direct with people, then we fail to lose. We fail to have their trust.
Hey, I agree with that.
It's insanity. Right. You're right. Just answer the question. It's what is a woman? I've had you an hour.
Have you?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks.
I got some pictures here I want to put up. Kevin, get me ready back here, and he's the producer. And you tell me, you don't have no clue what I got.
I really don't know what my team sent in, so this is going to be fun.
They call it Magic Mike for a reason.
Oh, that's my granddaddy in his little overalls and his school picture. He was a cotton farmer down in McNairy County.
Wow, you do go back a long way.
All right,
that's a great picture. That's back in the 20s, probably.
Look at that! Wow, Ray Hoover.
Right.
And that's my mama. Look at that beauty.
Fairs to the Fair. What county is that? McNairy County?
McNairy County. That's right.
Fairs to the Fair, 1979.
You can see why my daddy married her.
Yes. You know what? What's sad is I can remember 79.
Me and you both.
This is my mom's sister. So she lives in Kentucky now, but she was I want to say she was the Strawberry Festival queen. And that's why there's strawberries on there.
I think you're right. Queen Janice Hoover. That's your aunt.
And that's my aunt.
And that is Stantonsville. I can't read that.
Also from Stantonville, Tennessee.
Wow.
McNairy County.
That's wow. You know we was going to reminisce, did you?
Look. That's little Lauren there, eldest of 4 kids. So I'm your elder millennial oldest daughter.
Well, that's your father.
That's my dad. He's got a little less hair now.
Right.
Insurance, sells insurance and for shelter insurance in Selmer. And then my mom retired as a teacher. So
I could feel that, a teacher.
Yeah, she spent.
And that's you. I wonder how old you were right there. Look at that hair.
Oh, yeah. Always out of control.
That's a woman thing with hair. We did a hit a while ago before you come on telling everybody what was going to happen. We just did a little hits, and Dana was in here. And I kept saying, come on here. My hair, it's rainy. It's my hair. I said, put a hat on. It's always women in their hair.
Well, because you like to look at us. So we want to make you,
So you're going to be governing with bad hair or good hair?
Well, I pride myself in good hair. So
that's a bad question. I'm stupid.
This is George Bush's inauguration. Look at that. I love that my mom took that picture and put the date up there.
That's too cool.
And that's you.
That's me, 2 years old.
Right. So you're a young girl.
Always been political, clearly.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
38.
Riding a horse on our farm.
That gives you grassroots of Henry County, Tennessee. That tells you are just an old country girl.
My mom used to show racking horses at the Tennessee Walking Horse Festival. Yeah.
You played ball?
Played ball. I blew my knees out, but I did play ball.
Wow.
As a catcher.
I was too.
Oh my goodness. This is when we lived in Laos, and that's our youngest. Well, she was our firstborn. Our oldest is adopted, so we adopted out of birth order, but that's Eliza, and she was 9 months old when we moved to Laos.
Wow, that's your husband.
And that's Gavin there. Sorry, Gavin. Yep, that's
you call him out,
my
Gavin.
dear husband.
No, his name is
He's
Gavin.
Gavin, my
I
best
got
friend.
you back, brother. I understand. You're a trophy. I'm a trophy too. Those trophies have a hard time. Go ahead. Yeah. We don't know what that is.
This is hilarious that my team sent this in. Okay, so I had about 6 to 8 months working at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. So here I am driving to work on my motorcycle with my 4-inch heels in my low skirt.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was you at?
Outside my house. I was just on my way to work at a UN meeting. And
Wow.
so
that says Korean technology or something right there.
that's right. We had this was a little bitty motorbike, but I have driven a big old 2,500cc bike across Kenya.
What country was that in?
This was in Laos, but I learned to drive motorcycles in Kenya, in the Masai Mara.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Okay. Little fly fishing outside of Chattanooga.
Right. That's pretty obvious. That's the East Tennessee Smoky Mountain.
Mm-hmm. We love to fly fish. Oh, this was our launch day. So we had events across the whole state. We did a progressive meal. So we started in Selmer for breakfast, lunch in Columbia, and dinner in Chattanooga. And so
Who are these people?
My friend Ed here on the left, he grilled or he smoked, I don't know how many pigs he smoked for this launch day. So that was so kind of him. He came out all night and stayed out all night.
Is that potato salad in that bowl?
I'm sure it is. It was kind of a potluck.
Yeah, can you tell that foil on top?
Yeah,
don't lose the flavor.
Yeah,
that's right.
Around here, when it's casseroles and potato salad, somebody dies.
This was last year speaking at the Christian Economic Forum. European Freedom Network. So just kind of presenting some of my research on economic pathways for survivors of exploitation.
Wow. So you're
I was in Austria.
That was in Austria?
That last one was in Austria. This one was in Utah, speaking at a conference there on ethical government, and so how we lead as peacemakers. And so that tagline there, I think, is navigating political violence with justice, with hearts of justice and hands of mercy.
Wow. So you are very diverse.
I try to be.
You know a lot about a lot. That's something that I have did some shows on human trafficking. I had tell me in the back what his name was. He was retired FBI. I got parts timers. It's been a few years ago. I did a show with this guy that was talking about human trafficking, and it was just becoming a thing. And he told me some statistics and talked about it. To this day, I still think about human trafficking. And he was telling me stories about they come here thinking they're coming to America to maybe go to work as a nanny, and they end up being a slave. He told me one particular one that he helped as an FBI agent. He helped get them out. She'd been living behind the kitchen in like a closet, and she only eat the food that was left on the plates, and she was beaten down, not physically but mentally beaten down to where when they tried to rescue her, she fought, didn't want it because that's all she knew. And I think this is back in probably 2022, 23, 21, somewhere in there. We're living in modern times. You mean that's still going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's the number one criminal activity in the world. And it's not new. We can go all the way back. We go all the way back to Joseph. Yeah. Joseph is the first case we ever have recorded of human trafficking, and his brothers trafficked him to Egypt. Yeah, it's a lucrative business.
It's a sad thing that we're living in a modern world where human trafficking, slavery is all still going on. That's it's sad that we live in this. And but Lauren, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to share with everybody.
I want to put this website back up. There it is. Tell us about it.
Well, listen, I just want everybody to know that we have a very clear path to victory this year. And we know that we can win this state with even just under 1 million votes if everybody kind of comes together. We are running a campaign. I would not waste anybody's time, money, or energy if I didn't believe that we had a really clear path. So I'm excited for everybody to jump in. And I'm going to ask that if you have a question for me, please send it through the website. Please get in touch with us. If you want to jump in, we've got over 40 counties that already have county leads, and we're just growing our movement across the state. And so I appreciate the chance to get to talk with people every single day. Is such a relief. This is the most fun thing I've ever done because I get to talk to incredible people every day that are just good neighbors and want to see a state that they're proud of. So I want to make Tennessee a state that we're proud of, and I want to do that with everybody that's here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Lauren, I think you've got a good attitude. We talked on a lot of stuff. We did, and I have to agree on a lot of things you're saying. I do believe we have issues in this state, Ricky.
We do.
seems like you want to hit them head on.
Well, and I hope that you don't think that you have to agree with everything that I say in order to trust me as your leader.
Oh, no. I don't agree with nobody on everything.
That's right.
Me and Ricky agree on 99.9%, but the stuff we don't agree on, that's what I tell people when it comes to voting, Ricky. Just look at the issues that affect you and decide which ones is more important. I try to put them in order. And where are these people at on the issues that matter? And then you got your foo-foo stuff. Then look at that stuff and let that kind of go where it wants. I call it foo-foo stuff. It don't really matter.
I'll adopt that into my governor's language.
Yeah. Well, there is foo-foo. Everybody's got their foo-foo.
That's right.
And everybody's got what they want. If you're in the auto world like I am, I want it all about auto. I want some auto stuff. And if you're a teacher, it's all about teaching. But yet, let's get out of that. Let's look at what a Democrat said this. Don't ask what your country could do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
That's right. And it's our responsibility to step in because democracy is only as good as the country that we make it to be.
Say it again.
Democracy is only as good as the country that we make it to be.
It is. It's horrible. Yeah, bring me one out here. Get me one. Somebody has taken my stuff. They'll get it to me. But we need to wake up in this country, this state, and even the city and county we live in, and take our government back. Mm-hmm. We've allowed a country that was founded by hardworking men in overalls to have this, and taken away by overeducated zealots that have no idea what it's like to be who they're ruling. And it's time we took it back.
I agree with you.
I am absolutely sick and tired. And I tell people all the time, I know you're a professor and college professor, and that's okay. It's not towards you. They'll say, well, Mike, this person right here, they're educated here, they're educated there, educated this. And I look at them, I say, education doesn't change your IQ.
You're right.
It does not change your IQ. If you're not smart, you're never going to be smart. Don't let the education fool you. It's good to look at your education, but look at what they say and basically look at what they do. Everybody comes on my show knows you're in the Brewer Street Mafia studios. You've seen that. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to know, am I a official member of the Brewer Street Mafia?
Am I about to be inducted?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I have to vet you. See, you don't even know it, but I'm vetting you as you talk. And they keep me on my board over here. They X's every time you pass something. They take an X off. So I'm going to make you an official member of the Brewer Street Mafia. You can read what that tells you.
Oh, my goodness.
It tells
Look
you.
at that.
It says you're an official member.
That is nice. I'm going to add it to my collection. It's going to go on the governor's wall.
That's what I want. And do me a favor. When you get elected governor and you get a phone call, and it says, it's got to go through all the channels. There's some dude named Mike Weatherford wanting to talk to you. Will you take my call?
Pick that up right now. That's what I'm going to say. And I hope that on November 3rd, you're putting me in your phone as Madam Governor. That's what I'm
going to do. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I think you would make an excellent governor. And I don't just say this, but it's hard for an old guy like myself to say this, but maybe it's time that we let the women lead some.
It's time for a change. Who knows?
What's it going to hurt? I'm serious when I say that.
Thank you.
I have said that in the past. Maybe it's time to let a woman take the lead. Us guys, we've done it all, and we've basically made a damn mess out of it. So
when they said the good old boys?
Yeah, the good old boys.
So now that's going to be the good old girls, right?
Let the girls put the foo-foo to it.
Put the foo-foo.
At least give us a chance to prove. At least give us a chance to prove it.
I have no problem with women leading.
That's it. I'm like you.
But a lot of times women make decisions off emotions. Be careful with your emotions.
Oh, my goodness.
And you're going to be great.
I got to be level-headed.
Can I shake your hand?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Absolutely.
All right. There you go, folks. I've had Lauren Pinkston. She is an independent candidate for the governor of the great state of Tennessee. We had a great conversation. You heard it right from her mouth. She even knows what a woman is. That's a good check mark over there, if you're like me. And I think it's been a great show. I think you learned something. And we're going to continue bring you candidates and have a conversation. I kind of don't let them get down crazy. Just ask them common sense questions that people like you and I, the old dumb, I'm not real smart. Everybody knows that. I tell you every week, but understand I'm not real smart. I make them dumb it down to where I can understand it. And I think she did a great job, Ricky.
Great job tonight. It was very good.
Yeah.
You get speechless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you catch me speechless, you got to think about it.
She's passionate.
You're right, passionate.
She's very passionate, and I think she's got good intentions. You know, and that's what it takes sometimes. And I think she's got the youth.
Well, you think Tennessee? We're farmland. It's all horses, right?
Yeah. She's been
It's all cow stomachs, right? We've seen
Eating
it all. She know what a possum is, right?
Yeah, she knew what a possum was.
So okay, all right.
But cow stomach.
I don't know, man. You got to talk about that.
We have to when we go off there. If she don't run off, I'm going to have to get her a recipe on cow stomach. I don't know. I ate a cow tongue one time.
Yeah.
But I cooked it. You know, I just didn't eat a cow's tongue. I mean, it was a cooked cow tongue. I didn't know what the heck.
Glad you clarified.
Yeah. That could be gone crazy. It was kind of okay.
It was.
But I don't think I'd want another one.
No, we're not starved yet.
No. I mean, it was.
Okay.
And how it had happened was I was in the store one day, and they had a cow tongue laying there. You ever seen them in the store laying? You ever seen a cow? I looked at it. I said, who in the hell would it? What am I looking at? And that woman said, cow tongue. I said, what do you do with that? Is that dog? No, people cooking. This guy was standing there, and I knew him. He said, you ever eat cow tongue? I said, no. He said, I'll fix it for you. I said, no, thanks. He said, no, seriously. He fixed it up. I eat it.
Was it fried or barbecue?
I don't know what it was. Be honest with you.
Then.
It was kind of mixed in.
Well, I don't know whether to cook it fried or deep fried.
Fried.
Battered and fried.
Yeah, battered and fried. I mean, you don't know what it is, just put some flour, put a leg, and throw it in the grease.
Drop it in there.
Yeah, you can eat anything. You eat my hat if you put enough seasoning on it.
I get it.
All right, folks, we got to get out of here. Hey, I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in and watching this show. It's pretty interesting, I think, tonight. I want to be your go-to place for all the things we want to go about. And where else can you get the governor candidate to sit down here with you and talk to me in a common-sense way with common-sense questions? That's what I want to do. I want to be your go-to place for all the things. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank my sponsor. Hey, without y'all, I couldn't do what I do, which is sit up here and...
Yeah, don't say it.
Yeah, sit up here and go, that's what I do, What do? I don't know. I just talk. But anyway, I want to thank my guys and the girls in the back. Without that group in the back, I couldn't do what I do. Thanks to Kevin, Dana, and the whole group back here. Where's my stuff up here? Roll it back down to the bottom. I'll go back over. Where we at right here? Oh, yeah. I thank Kevin Keel, Scott Norwood, and Dana Allen for what they do in the back. Tune in next week. I got a great show coming up. Vince Dodd is going to release his new album, his new single off his album. It's called Hadji. It's coming right here. We're going to release it right here, the video right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. Coming up next week, 7 p.m. right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. It's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to have fun. What else we got? And don't forget, coming up on Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckalow, he's got Curtis Copeland, Renee Laster, Patriot football and baseball ready for the Big 2026. 2 coaches, 2 teams, 1 goal, the playoffs. Coming up Sunday, February the 15th, 7:30 p.m. Go find him. You'll like him. All right, folks, thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for watching me. If you haven't done it yet, reach over there, wherever you're watching me at. If there's a bell to ring it, if there's a flag, shake it. If there's a follow button, follow it. If there's whatever it takes to get you connected with me, do it. I appreciate it. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Help me, Rick. Like I always say, don't be late. The Mike Weatherford Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios in downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia Productions.